Retirement isn't just an end, it's the beginning of a new way of life. And we want to help you find ways to thrive in your retirement.
You know, it's not just about leaving your job. It's really about reshaping your life, rediscovering yourself, and embracing all the new possibilities that are waiting for you in this phase of life.
You know, if you hold on to the past and don't embrace the future, you might just miss out on the most fulfilling chapter of your life.
Now, if you're new here, my name is Mark, and this is my wife, Jody.
And we don't focus on the financial aspects of your retirement, but rather your lifestyle, your health, your relationships, and much more.
And we really appreciate that you're here and you took the time to watch this video. And we hope that this helps you with your retirement journey. And do us a favor, if you like this video and the other ones, please share it with someone you care about who's also on their retirement journey.
You know, we really want you to start today to remember that retirement is your chance to rewrite your final story. It's about letting go of the old and embracing all the new possibilities that await you.
So today we want to jump in and talk to you about some of the things that you can leave behind once you officially retire. And that sounds kind of weird, like what would we leave behind? Well, we're going to go through this list today, and some of them are going to be so obvious that it's so important, but some are going to be difficult.
Right.
But we want to jump in because some of them actually, if you leave them behind, give you this opportunity to grow and prosper in this time of your life.
So the first thing I would say that I felt the day I retired, the next week, you know, when we really started getting into it was, you know, I let go of that 9 to 5 mindset. You know, things could happen in my life now before 9 and after 5 and all throughout the day. It wasn't just this capsule of 9 to 5. That's when I was hitting it hard.
Well, I'm laughing because your job and my job was never 9 to 5. It
Many
was more
people's
like
jobs aren't 9 to 5.
7 till like 9 at
yeah.
night.
I think what I
But
really mean though is
I know.
structured work day, right?
Yeah, and I think what it does when I remember that first Monday when we woke up, and I don't know what time it was we woke up, but we didn't have to go to work.
Right.
So actually we couldn't go to work because we had left. But it was this strange feeling of, what do you want to do today? Well, I don't know, but we can do whatever we want, which was this freedom of choosing what it is we wanted to do was amazing. And, you know, we also didn't have that, you know, what do you call it, the Sunday afternoon.
The Sunday scaries.
Sunday scaries. There's no Sunday scaries anymore
Right.
because Monday you don't have to go in and the deadlines you didn't finish, whatever
Yeah.
it might be. There's all of that, you know, no Monday blues.
Well,
right?
it's a chance to really redefine your routine. I mean, we're big routine fans, but it's a chance to redefine it so that it works for you.
Yeah.
You know, and whatever that is individually, you'll know it when you find it.
So letting go of this 9 to 5
Work
day time set is over.
Yeah.
And you want to leave that behind.
Right.
Well, the other thing you want to leave behind, the second thing is work.
You know, this is hard because I'm left-handed.
Yeah.
And I'm afraid to drink my coffee with this hand. I'm afraid you're going to like...
Well, that'll be good.
Yeah, that'd be a good blooper.
It would. Let's do. You know what? I'm going to keep that in mind as we go through this.
I don't know if I can drink it with... Anyway. So,
Some
I'm having
stuff you have to deal
coffee
with.
crisis.
Coffee crisis. So the other thing you want to leave behind is work-related stress. So work-related stress, what is that? Well, that's everything. I mean, yes, there's still stress in retirement. There's still stress in life with your kids or what you're going to do. But that old 38 years of stress related to that job, the office politics, the deadlines, that's over. And I want to leave that behind. I don't even want to think about it anymore.
You know, it's funny though, because we started this channel and this business in retirement. We still have some work-related stress.
We do.
So I don't know that we've actually left that fully behind. I guess the difference is we're able to repurpose the stress and move forward something we're passionate about.
Well,
I guess I was passionate about my job though too.
You
So
were.
now I'm like kind of contradicting myself.
This is not an 80-hour career for us.
Yeah.
This is 20 hours a week, and it's just enough time. And the other thing you got to remember is it fits on top of our life.
Right.
So that's the big change that we made a year into retirement, is that we put our non-work stuff first: pickleball, golf, yoga,
family, kids,
cycling, kids.
vacation.
That's first. That's our retirement. We deserve that because
Right.
we worked hard. And we have some stress with this job, but not really a lot.
Yeah.
Not like that other one. And it's self-inflicted. It's controlled.
Well, I think we can prioritize our mental and physical health during this time because we don't have all that extra stress.
And stuff out of our control. We worked for other people.
Right.
And that, they're always coming at you and they want this and they want that and you have teammates to support. Now it's you and me. I mean,
Right.
we might let each other down once in a while and create some stress, but that old work-related stress you want to leave behind and get rid of it.
Yeah. One of the other things I know, as a woman in corporate America for all those years, and I had, suits and dresses and pantsuits and skirt suits and, all sorts of things. But, you can leave behind this kind of conformity of style.
Well, dressing to impress.
Well, I think we still dress to impress, like if we're going out to dinner or...
Well, I don't know if
So-
that's to impress.
I mean,
I dress to feel good now. I dress in I don't dress in my suit and my tie and my shiny shoes.
But when you put that on, you feel good sometimes.
I never put it on.
Well, like weddings, let's say.
Well, again, that's to impress. Listen, if
Right.
I could go in a t-shirt and shorts, I would.
You
I really,
would?
no, I wouldn't.
No.
But the whole idea during your career, you had to dress a certain way. Let's get rid of the word impress. But you had to dress a certain way to maintain your style with your corporate clients.
I guess now you can
You
celebrate
have to
your
conform.
your individuality in the way you
Yes,
dress.
yes.
Right. I get that. I agree with that.
Listen, when I first started my career, I was 23 years old. It was a three-piece suit every single
Three-piece
day.
suit?
Three-piece with the vest, the whole thing.
Wow.
Yep.
It was tough in the 20s.
20s. That's really not nice. Is this where it's going to go today? So then, I remember when first came Casual Friday. It's like a nightmare. The older people didn't, no way, we can't do it. Clients are going to leave us, blah, blah, blah. Now people work at home in their pajamas and they just, they wear a thing up top. But in retirement,
You have your pajamas on
I
in
do
this
not.
call?
No. We let go of that whole. My suits are all gone. I have two suits now.
Yeah, that's true.
One is new, one is old. You get rid of that. You don't have to dress up to impress anyone anymore.
True. I don't know.
You don't agree?
I think, if we're going out to dinner or we're going to an event or something, I still enjoy the dressing up piece. I guess I wouldn't want to do it again 5 full days a week.
No.
So I guess I'm...
And I think what's happened is we both have rediscovered sort of a new personal fashion preference. I try to dress looking a little bit younger because I'm so old.
Do you?
I can wear skinny pants.
That's because you're skinny.
Oh. All right.
I'm so confused.
Listen, you don't have to dress to impress
Okay,
anymore. Leave
done.
it behind. All right. Let's talk about the fourth thing. Constant connectivity. So we have constant connectivity now with our
Yeah.
kids and each other and family
This
and
was
friends.
Mark's. I'm not sure.
But listen, digital detox from work emails and phone calls. I mean, it was, how many emails would you get a day?
I know, but Mark, now we have this YouTube channel with nearly 25,000 subscribers, and people are binging us with comments every day, and it's just the two of us trying to respond. I think we're almost more connected.
But we love these people.
Well, of course.
These
but-
are our friends now. These aren't coworkers. These are family friends.
Okay.
Right?
Yes, but
Bob
I'm just...
from Iowa.
I'm Bob from
We
Iowa.
love Bob from Iowa. Come on, Bob. Tell us what's on your mind right now. Listen, it's a little bit different, I think. I believe it allows me to be more in the moment with you and with the kids and with our friends, where I'm not getting pinged all day long, being asked what to do by a client, by a colleague, by corporate. Where's my numbers? You didn't close out the month right. This person's sick. People resigning. I mean, I think that...
I think we choose to disagree on this one.
What do you mean?
Well, I just think we're as connected,
Differently.
digitally.
Let's say it's different.
I think we're as or more connected digitally now that we've started this business than we've ever been.
Interesting.
And, we have an Instagram page, we have a Facebook community, and so we're constantly, we never used to post and...
No, but
So
I guess my point here is, what are some of the things, this is what we're talking about, what are some of the things that you should leave behind or can leave behind with your corporate career.
Right.
And we left all that behind. We left the demanding emails and all of that. Now we have a new life with new friends. And yeah, it's different connectivity. I don't think it's being pulled. The people that leave comments are not asking us, can you call me? I have this problem. They're leaving comments and we get to respond. So I don't know. I just think it's something that is a relief when you leave your career and you enter this phase of life that, you don't have this constant being pulled. That's what I think.
Well, I think the next one, I know you and I talked about this a lot, but the identity that you had when you had a job and a title and in your career and in your pecking order at your organization or otherwise, that identity is something you leave behind. And it gives you an opportunity to discover your new identity and redefine your new identity. I embrace this one a lot.
Well, you can embrace it, but a lot of people struggle with it.
Yeah.
You and I were lucky, I would say, because we have a new identity. We're YouTubers, right? Aren't we YouTubers? YouTube fans? We have a YouTube channel, and that's our new identity. Never do I say, I used to be an insurance agent. I just don't say that anymore. I've totally eliminated that job title from my personality, from how I identify myself.
Right.
Would you? I mean,
No,
you're
I
not
would
now
agree.
a senior vice president at Chubb
No.
anymore.
No, but I do think it's healthy to, identify what your identity was.
Yes.
And kind of package it up and celebrate and all the success and all the milestones and how it all got you there. And then really start to introspectively figure out, what am I now? Am I a traveler? Am I a grandmother? Am I a business owner? Am I a
Pickleball
philanthropist?
player.
Am I a golfer? Am I a yoga person? Like, what am I now through your passions and interests can really help you embrace this new identity. And I do know that people struggle with it, but once you do the work, I think it feels really good.
Yes, because that's the main
It's one of the
point
most
here.
rewarding things to
100%.
leave behind, I think.
My dad could not leave that behind.
Right.
He used the word
Used to.
used to.
I
I
used
used to
to.
be this. I used to be that. I used to do this. I used to do that. He spent the last 15 years of his life being used to.
Yeah.
He just would say what he used to do. His business card that he got in retirement says retired on it. That's not a title.
Right.
That's a phase. So
And
the
it's a
important
work,
thing,
yeah.
I think the important thing, and we know lawyers that say they're never going to retire. Doctors, I'm going to keep practicing. I mean, I don't know if that's a smart thing or not, but not letting go of that prevents you from entering this phase and doing something new. And that's, I think people get scared of that. But
I agree.
when you let go of it, it opens up the door to do something new, a multifaceted identity. I'm a grandfather, I'm a cyclist, and I have a YouTube channel.
Right.
That's it.
Right. That's
What
a good
else?
one.
What's next? What do you want to talk about next? What's something else that you can leave behind or should leave behind when you retire?
So I think you can leave behind this whole concept of the fear of missing out, right? So, you can focus on your personal experiences and memories, but there's no more pressure to keep up with corporate trends or missing out on meetings or not being invited or not being part of the project team or, because that was always a big thing in my world. In a corporate structure, a Fortune 200 company, you were always jockeying for position.
Well,
And yours was different because you were an entrepreneur.
I was an
but-
entrepreneur, and I still have that in my blood, and we're building this business, so that's exciting. But I was so good at what I did as an insurance broker. I'm bragging here. I was really good at my sales process, engaging with customers, getting the newest trends in insurance, and sharing out with my clients. And I didn't want to miss out on any seminars or webinars or read all the industry journals, because if I didn't keep up to speed on that, I wasn't sharp and attuned to it. So I didn't want to miss anything. The networking functions, that was a big thing for me. I can't miss any networking functions.
Yeah, you were good at that.
Because my next new client, I'm going to meet that night, right? That's over.
But now you can celebrate the freedom to choose those experiences without any external pressure.
Yeah.
And you can put yourself in places that supports your new identity, supports your new focus and purpose. It's a lot more personal.
Well, it is. Plus, we get to focus on some learning that we never had time
Right.
to do before, like how to do a YouTube channel. I mean, I didn't wake up one day and say, hey, I know how to do this. So we have a lot of help. We're in some masterminds, and it allows us to be present right now to talk to you and without any distractions. I don't think I'm missing anything right now, right? Are you?
No.
Kind of hungry. I want to get lunch, but other than that, so I think this idea of FOMO, fear of missing out, you want to leave that behind in your corporate career or your job, whatever it might be. You don't want to miss the Friday morning general meeting where you celebrate all your coworkers' birthdays. I mean,
yeah.
Is that a good example?
I think so. I mean, yeah. I just think the whole fear of missing out and being included, you now have an opportunity to put yourself in places.
Right.
I think another thing to leave behind, though, is really a strong competitive nature in life. We're all competitive in different ways. I believe that. I was a college athlete. I'm competitive at things I'm not even really good at. I mean, I lead with competitive, but I'm moving more now towards collaboration and away from competitive in my community.
I agree with you on that. When I was an insurance broker, I wanted to be the best. I wanted to be the most successful. I wanted to have the biggest amount of sales in my company. That was competitive. Now we're like on the YouTube channel. We have other YouTube channel friends where we collaborate and we share ideas and we get on each other's channel. We're all in this together to lift the boat because we're doing this to help ourselves, but also to help you. And there's a couple other YouTube channels that are kind of like ours, but they're different. A couple are on travel. One is on
a lot on finance.
A lot on finance that we don't do, but we don't feel like we're competing with any of them because this whole YouTube thing is so personal. We have a style, and either you like it or you don't like it. I'm not trying to be like anyone else. Are you? We're just being ourselves, sharing with you. So we're not really competitive, and it feels good to step away from that, where it was constantly, what are your numbers, and how am I going to sharpen my saw to do better? And for us now, it's really prioritizing like our relationship and other relationships over our rankings. Where do we stand? So,
and that we even do that in our social personal life, right? So I just picked up golf this year, and I joined a ladies golf league, and I don't come home talking as much about my golf game as I do about the relationships.
I don't know. You always remind me when you make a birdie or a par.
Because it's so few and far in between.
Well, you're right. I mean, it's...
But I spend more time talking about the relationships that I'm building there, and I love them. I love all of that new relationship. So it's more about the collaboration and the relationship and less about the competitiveness.
Well, one of the other things to leave behind is, I'll call it financial anxiety, although in retirement there's a different kind of financial anxiety, but we spent our whole life building up, accumulating assets for retirement, and that's a lot of anxiety. Do I have enough money to retire? And I know some people don't, and if you're watching this and you don't, again, a financial planner, trying to figure something out, working part-time.
Budgeting.
Everyone's got budgeting. Everyone has their own deal. But we are now living comfortably with proper financial planning and budgeting and not that we're not worried about money, but we don't have that same anxiety that we had during our career. Different anxiety.
So I would say it's different anxiety because I think and we both worked jobs. I mean, you had commission scale, I had salary and bonus, kind of scale. But you kind of had a predictability about your financial outlook on a monthly basis.
Right.
I think the anxiety, so I'm not sure I agree with that the anxiety is all let go.
I probably called it the wrong thing.
It's probably different anxiety because now without income coming in, right? Income coming in. If there's a blip in the month, or for example, our car just broke. And with GM on strike, it's a part. It's a little part. It's not a big deal. We can't get the part. We can't get the part for 5 months.
Hopefully not, but yeah.
But that's a blip, right? Yeah. So then it's
we didn't plan for it.
We didn't plan for that. Now do we have to rent a car? Like we're trying to kind of go through and figure that out. So I think that creates anxiety because we don't have that predictable income.
So let me re-describe what I was.
So financial anxiety, I think, still exists.
It does. I said that in the beginning.
Yeah.
There's a different kind, but I think that financial anxiety, when I think of that, I think of climbing the corporate ladder. I think of moving up in an income bracket. I think of doing whatever I need to do to get that extra bonus. Doing whatever I need to do to, to make sure that I crush it at at a meeting, so that, again, about making more money all the time. We're not making more money now in
No.
retirement. So that anxiety is gone. We did everything we could do. Now we have to just live on what we have, do the best we can, and enjoy our life together.
Right. I see that. I do just feel like there's different pressures and anxieties that still exist.
I think the big thing for me when I think about this was climbing the corporate ladder, working extra hard to get that extra bonus and all that. Life is different now.
Right.
We want this YouTube channel to be successful. And we want it to be successful not for the money we make, which isn't a lot, but because we want to get this out in front of so many people.
Right.
We know our life is better because of what we're doing and what we're learning, and we hope your life is better too from what you hear with us on our videos.
Another thing, this is one that I really believe in and I put onto our list, was overcommitting, right? So, being a mom of, young children all through my career, and then growing children, then college children, and, I retired when the last ones graduated from college. I was constantly overcommitted. So I was overcommitted at schools and school functions, and work functions, and home functions, and family functions, because as a working mom, I wanted to do everything. Now I feel like it's okay to prioritize my personal time and my well-being, and it's okay for me to say no sometimes and set some boundaries, which I'm not great at, but I'm working on, and focus on the quality of experiences over the quantity of what I can get done.
I like that.
So
And
this
you
one's
always-
a big one for me, because I'm an overcommitter and I'm a people pleaser, kind of deadly
And
combination.
an overachiever and all of that.
Deadly
and
combination.
And I'm an overcommitter and I'm an overachiever, and I think back on you, and no one did it better than you.
Well, that's not true. I'm sure many people
Well,
did
I
it
don't
better
know.
than me.
I don't know. I watched it because you had the 3 daughters all through school. You didn't miss any of their sporting events. You didn't miss any business meetings. You still traveled, and if you were traveling, you called them to do their homework. Now with the kids kind of on their own, that pressure isn't there, and overcommitting to our career. We have a certain number of hours that we work now in this job. We have a certain number of hours for golf and pickleball and all of that. And I would say
But you act like it's all very tight.
No,
it's very fluid.
No, but it's. I would say that we're overcommitted in our retirement to really making sure that our personal stuff comes first, and I wouldn't say we're overcommitted, but we do commit to a lot: yoga, cycling, pickleball, golf, going to movies, date night. But it's not like it was in a career. It's just not like it was when we were working. We have more control over what we commit to now. A lot of that was committing to things that people expected of you. I don't think we have that.
Right. Oh, I agree.
Number 10, procrastination on personal goals. Listen.
You're going to let that go.
What?
You're leaving that behind.
Procrastination?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I spent decades every January joining a gym. And every January I'd go 3 times. And then by the end of January, because the free month was up, I'd quit because I didn't want to spend the money because I wasn't going. So this whole idea of putting off better nutrition, exercise, some of my dreams. I just finished my book. I wanted to write a book my whole life, but I didn't know what it was going to be about. Now I wrote a book, and it's called,
Evolving.
The Evolving Man, Life Virtues Men Don't Talk About. Men don't want to talk about. I didn't know that was going to be my book, but it's a dream come true for me. It took 14 months to write it. I procrastinated writing a book, and then boom, 14 months ago the idea came up. So I think we both procrastinated on that, and that has to stay behind.
Yeah. No,
Personal
I agree.
goals need to be forefront.
No, I agree. And I think that we have some new opportunities even ahead of us to learn differently, to try different opportunities and hobbies, and really work on our personal growth. And that doesn't always mean together.
Right, 100%.
Right. So, individually working on our personal growth.
And if
I
you're
think is important.
struggling with this, If you're procrastinating personal goals, listen, set a couple of easy ones. I mean, we talk so much about physical wellness because it's so important. But gosh, if you're not doing that, just go 10 minutes, get up in the morning, walk 10 minutes one way, 10 minutes back, sit down, have your morning coffee or tea, and celebrate it.
Right.
That's a milestone. If you've never done it before, then it's a milestone. So,
well, I think the important thing is your goals are your personal goals. And if you kind of get over the fact that you're no longer going to procrastinate on them, you can set them any way you want.
Right. Well, another thing that I believe you can leave behind, and it's very refreshing, is this idea of all of the people that you and I both had reporting to us, or we reported to, trying to please them all. I mean, we don't need to do that. There's hundreds of relationships that we had that we spent, pleasing, looking down, looking across, and looking up, always trying to be to say the right thing, do the right thing, and that.
It's funny. I think if any of my ex-bosses were watching this, they would probably say that I was not a people pleaser from their perspective. But if any of my clients were watching this, they would probably say I was a huge people pleaser because I was always trying to make things better for them.
So what did you do with your bosses?
People that worked for me, I tried to make things better for them. I think I was a good employee, but I don't think I was always the easiest because I wasn't always trying to please up.
Huh. It's kind of like you're a good wife, but you're not an easy wife. Is that right?
Wow.
Oh.
There's some feedback.
Yeah. No, I hear what you're saying.
So, but what I'm saying is, people pleasing, is something that I'm working on still. And I'm really asking myself, in fact, we had a conversation this morning that turned into a little tussle. Because
like a arm wrestle tussle?
No, but just, I want to make sure that I'm doing what I want to do and not just pleasing everybody around, just doing because you said you wanted to do it.
Right.
Because, you can lose your retirement by pleasing people.
Well, you can. If you bring that whole habit or desire to please everyone into your retirement, and you spend the rest of your life pleasing everyone, you have to put yourself, I'm going to say it, put yourself first. You need to put yourself first. I need to put myself first. And then you need to put me first once in a while, and I need to put you first once in a while.
Yeah, so I have on speed dial that new puppy I'm about to get.
Puppy?
Just putting myself first. Dying to have my puppy.
Let's get a puppy. So anyway, leave that behind.
Right.
All those people that you had to take care of. Listen, even when you left, you had some employees calling you up looking for help.
Right.
And you felt obliged to help them. And you know what? That's not your role anymore.
No, I know.
It's
That's a good thing to leave behind.
Yeah. All right.
The next thing to leave behind, and again, people that watch our channel a lot will say, this is interesting. But I think the key word is rigid routines, right?
Yeah.
Routines
what do
are
you mean?
good, but routines can be spontaneous and fluid and include an adventure and experience. You don't need to keep those rigid routines and bring them with you.
Well, I have certain rigid routines now, but it's different than when I was working. So again, the rigid routines when I was working was to comply with everyone else's demands or needs or whatever it might be. The Monday morning sales meeting at 8 o'clock. That really wasn't for me. That was for them. I didn't need it. But they needed it, had to hold them accountable, had to train them and all of that. And that, that wears you down. I ran the monthly sales meeting for 30 years. I ran the weekly leadership team meeting for 30 years. And that, it was always had to prep for it. You ran all kinds of meetings.
I did.
Those were rigid, they were kind of monotony and they were hard. But today our routines, listen, morning routine's for me, your morning routine is for you. But
wouldn't you agree that now our routines have some fluidity to them?
Yeah.
Even yours?
Yes. If I don't really feel like working out on Monday morning, I don't have to.
Well, not only that, but, if we have an opportunity to do something else.
To travel,
or to do something with one of the kids, or to do something for a friend that needs something. it's not that I can't because I have the 9 a.m. meeting.
Okay.
Do you see what I mean?
So
I think there's fluidity that comes with routines.
So we still have routines in our retirement.
Right.
And it's really, really important, and it's almost critical, I would say, to have routines.
Right.
But there's flexibility.
Yeah.
That's your
And
point,
you can
I
embrace
guess.
that.
Yeah. Life is unpredictable in retirement. It is. I mean, you just never know what's going to happen. And to be able to have the flexibility to just get up and go is helpful. You didn't have that in your career.
No, that's true. One of the other things, and I'm a real proponent of this, to leave behind in your as you move into retirement, is this idea of the fear of change. Retirement is a new chapter, and it's filled with tons of opportunities, and you really need to embrace new experiences. And you can't fear how they might change you.
Agreed, 100%. There was so many times that I didn't want to step out of my comfort zone. Listen, when we first started this business, we were like, we're going to start a YouTube channel. And you're like, what? Oh, yeah, we're going to do videos. And we're going to put it on a YouTube channel. People are going to watch it and leave comments. Like, no, we're not doing that. We had to, we spent 6 months going through some reading, some learning. We did a lot of practice. Our first video that we ever put up on, you go back and watch it. It's actually pretty good. But it took us, it took us a day to write the first script. And it took us 4 hours to film the first 10-minute video. This video you're watching now, script, it's 20 bullet points. And we're just chatting. We're authentic. This is what we do. But we were afraid of that, right? We said, how are we going to do this?
Right.
How are we going to create enough content to go put up a video every week?
Right, for years.
For years.
Right.
And I think that...
And how are we going to be resilient enough to some of the comments that come back? And a lot of the comments are great, and then there's a few that aren't so great. And you have to, still address them and, be kind and courteous and all those things. And, it's still harder for me, the filming, the video, the topics, and I'm a researcher, so I want to always have data at my fingertips. You're a little bit more of the sales guy, off the cuff, just sit down and turn the camera on.
Well,
so.
I'm adaptable. Are
Okay.
you? Adaptability is important.
Yeah, it is.
Celebrating your personal growth is important. Whenever you do something new and you step out of your comfort zone to do something new, to call up a friend and say, can we go to dinner? Whatever it might be, to go volunteer for a job, don't be afraid of the change.
Right.
Try it, do it, but then, Jesus, celebrate it, because a lot of growth can come in this phase of life by meeting new people, by volunteering, by starting a YouTube channel, by writing a book. So don't be afraid of it. Really try to embrace it with an open mind and an open heart.
One of the other things that you can leave behind, as you move into retirement, is living only for the weekend.
Yeah.
It's almost like Monday through Thursday, because Friday kind of counted as a weekend, but,
Well, not in the beginning.
Monday through Thursday, Friday was kind of a wash. You were kind of just running through, jumping on the train, heading to an appointment, coming back, getting to a soccer game, getting food on the table, go to bed. Get up in the morning, start all over again. Now in retirement...
But that was all to...
live for the weekend.
I can't wait till Saturday shows up. Friday night, go crazy Friday night.
You went crazy on Friday nights?
Once.
I don't remember that.
Come on, I did once.
I don't remember that at all.
But so working all week long to build up for the weekend where you can let your hair down and relax, and it's not like that now.
And what's fun about that is, while the rest of the world in your communities or the environment that you live in may still be, working Monday, Friday, and they have to get everything done on the weekends, you can do a Tuesday, Wednesday, hit a movie on a Tuesday night as opposed to a Friday night where you're waiting in line, or go see a concert on a Wednesday night as opposed to a Saturday night. And, you really have this idea that you can live for every day now.
Well,
it's not just for Saturday and Sunday.
I don't agree with this statement, but there are people, as we were entering retirement, and I was looking at some of the seniors that I've known my whole career who were in retirement 10 years, they would say to me, retirement's great. Every day's like a Saturday. And I thought, well, I don't want, how many days in a week? 7. I don't want 7, I was going to say 8. I don't want 7 Saturdays. But every day can be a Saturday, as you knew it during your career. So the flexibility you have, the excitement you can put together, like you said, we traveled this past weekend. We left Friday morning. Sometimes I don't know what day it is.
Oh, I always know what day it is. Well, because of my yoga schedule,
well, that's true.
That type of thing.
But my point really,
I don't think we're that.
I was, I guess, exaggerating or whatever. But it's nice to be able to live for the day, and not have to wait till Saturday to live. So every day for us is an opportunity to live. So leaving behind this idea of living for the weekend really is important, because it allows you to treat every day with excitement and bring on a new challenge.
Another thing that I fully and wholeheartedly say leave behind is this concept of busy being busy, right? Yeah. You know, it was almost a badge of honor to be the busiest person in the office, to have the most work, to stay the latest, to get there the earliest, to be there on Saturdays. And some of it, if I think back critically in my career, some of it was me busy being busy.
Well, yeah,
and it wasn't always, allowing myself the value of, feeling that I'm going to slow down, I need to relax, I need some mindful time.
Plus, it didn't always mean that you were being productive,
right,
or being fulfilled.
Right.
I mean, you were busy. You're running, like chasing your tail around. We don't do that now. We really prioritize activities that bring genuine joy.
Right.
If you said to me, "What's next week look like?" It's busy. But next week, well, we're moving to Florida next week, so it's really busy.
Really busy.
Typically, our week is going to be.
Work Monday.
Well, there's work Monday, there's golf Tuesday, there's yoga every morning for you, there's my workouts. I go watch the sunrise. We do scripts, we answer comments, we talk to the kids, we'll go out to lunch. That all sounds busy, but these are all things that we want to do, and they bring us genuine joy. When I was in my career, one of those crazy days where you're running around like, that's not joy. That's just getting stuff done and feeling like overwhelmed.
One of the things, though, I think we have to catch ourselves. So Mark's leaving tomorrow to go to Boston. So Mark's going to Boston tomorrow for a conference for 3 days. And, as he was setting that all up, he said, to me, what are you going to do? And I was like, don't worry about it. Because, there's a part of me that's going to embrace a little bit of stillness and reflection, a little bit of mindfulness and writing, a lot of yoga, and I'm going to have an opportunity to see 2 of my daughters. So, it's embracing those moments where you have stillness and reflection without trying to fill it with busy being busy.
Well, it's busy. When I ask people, so how was your day? So busy. I'm like, what the hell does that mean?
Yeah.
So your day is going to be driving to New York City, meeting the kids, going to dinner with them, seeing a friend for lunch the next day. I mean, that's busy, but it's what you want to do.
Right.
You can't wait for it, right?
No, I'm excited.
Yeah, so I think really it's a lot different. One of the other things that I left behind is being a perfectionist. Did I leave it behind? Well, I left a lot of it behind. So when I was running my own company, and again, the best part of my company for me, the best part of my career was opening new relationships.
I have to tell you
Why
guys.
Are you laughing?
I have to tell you something funny. So in our kitchen, I have my purses. I wish I had a purse here so I could show you.
Okay.
The largest purse that I carry is about this big.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't carry big purses. But if I leave my purse on a counter, pick a counter, the island counter, the counter over by the wine glasses, the counter over by, around the corner of, if I have that there, perfectionism, if I have that there, and Mark has papers out, a pile of supplements, 2 glasses of water, a coffee, and his laundry on the island, he'll say to me, can you move that purse? And I'm always thinking to myself, did you leave that perfectionism
Did anyone ever tell you you're an exaggerator?
Nope. Never.
That's not the case. Perfectionism, not messy. You're messy.
Messy. My one purse that's this big.
All right. So can we get back on track?
Okay.
Because they don't really care about your purse. Perfectionism. I now embrace imperfections. Like your purse in front of my drawer that I go in 10 times a day. It's an imperfection, but I'm kind of embracing it. I'm okay with my mistakes. I'm okay with my flaws about my character. I'm okay that I forget about stuff. I don't put that kind of pressure on me to always be the best I can be. I focus on progress over perfection. Would you agree with that statement? Give me some help here.
I do.
Come
No, I do
on.
agree with
what
that.
What about you?
I do agree with that.
I mean, I let go of unrealistic standards all the time.
I don't.
It's not
I think I'm still a striver for perfectionism. So this is one I should probably journal about a little bit.
More than that.
Well, because I probably still hold on to perfectionism.
It's okay in retirement to relax and chill and make mistakes.
It's true.
I
It is
think it's
okay.
okay.
It is.
The 38 years that I had to be on guard, wear the right clothes, manage the right meetings, all that, that's perfectionism. Now, we're not perfect here on the YouTube channel. You just went off script about your purse. They don't want to hear that about your purse.
It's
So
on one corner.
I think, do you get our point? You can leave behind perfectionism. How about
One of the other things you can definitely leave behind is holding on to any grudges that you built over time in your career, at your company, with your communities, whatever it is. Because retirement is really a time for peace and reconciliation. And I really do believe that. Letting go of past conflicts and any misunderstandings that you might have, and focus on building positive relationships.
Yeah,
I mean, this is a big one.
This is a big one for both of us,
Yeah.
because during your career there were people that might have
maybe not treated you so well.
yeah, or did things that kind of to knock you down a little bit,
Right.
said things they shouldn't have said in meetings, and you'll hold this grudge or this pressure that this person. You got to let go of it.
Yeah.
Because
even if you're forced into retirement, and
Right.
a lot of our clients will say, "Well, I am holding on to a grudge because my company retired me. I didn't
Right.
choose to retire." After a while, you got to let that go.
Yeah, because you're retired. I
Right.
mean, it's done.
Right.
If you expel a lot of energy around this area, you're going to have a very difficult time in retirement. You're going to have a difficult time in your life, 100%.
Yeah.
And it's hard. It's hard if you're not a forgiving person to start forgiving.
Right.
It's very, very hard. But
agree
it's
with that.
something that you really need to work on, because the emotional baggage that you carry around by holding on to grudges from someone who wronged you 10 years ago, it's not doing you any good.
No, I agree. I agree with that. I really do.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
at least we agree on one thing.
No, I do.
That and the purse. All right. Limiting beliefs. When...
Letting go of limiting beliefs.
Yeah.
Let's think about that one.
Well, when I was, again, we're talking about leaving your career, leaving your business, so I always had some limiting beliefs. Listen, starting a YouTube channel was a limiting belief. We're not starting a channel. We waited 2 years to start it. And look at us now. We like it, right? Aren't you having fun right now? Yeah. So the idea that you can't do certain things in your life, this is
Right.
the time to change that.
And to explore new opportunities.
Because old
right?
beliefs and mindsets, if they're holding you back,
Right.
then you're not living your life like it was meant to be. I mean, we're so big on personal growth and self-awareness. We eat the way we eat because we listen to our bodies. It's a limiting belief that, well, if I eat healthier, I'll feel better. No, I want to eat what I want to eat. We feel a lot better because of what we eat.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think it's hard because a lot of your limitations are typically self-imposed.
Yeah,
Right?
it's just a mindset.
It's just a mindset. So really having an opportunity to explore new opportunities without those limiting beliefs. I was never a golfer. I worked in corporate America. I never spent the time, energy, and effort to invest anything in golf. If I was asked to play, I would play. I would be terrible. I could keep up. I was fun enough. But now, so I kept saying to myself, well, I'm just not a golfer. But now
You're a golfer.
I love it. I mean, I've got bit by the bug and I love it. And I go out there with the mindset that I'm going to get better every time I play.
And I think that's the thing, that you have embraced it. I mean, who knew that you were going to embrace that?
Right.
Because before that, you didn't really have the time to do it.
No,
I'm not. And most of your golf, it was you and a bunch of men, because that's the way it is in the business world. And you're always like, well, they didn't. They're on the men's tees. You're on the ladies' tees. You're now playing with your equals, women, and then when you play with men, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because you got the tees that you own. That's your tee. I can't play from there. You can. So
Right.
it's flipped everything. And I think this limiting belief issue in retirement is dangerous. Because,
yeah.
well, go ahead.
No, I was going to go ahead.
No, you go. After you.
Well, I was just going to say, this idea that your mind really does control your actions, your activities, and your beliefs. Retirement is a great time to just reset.
Yeah.
What do I really believe in? What do I believe in myself? What do I believe in my community, my environment, my mental and physical health? What do I believe about my relationships? Now is the time to really hit the reset button on that.
I agree. And I agree 100%. So one of the other things that, and this is hard for a lot of people, one of the other things to leave behind and to change is clutter. Just mess.
Why did you have clutter at work?
Sticky notes.
Okay. So you mean actual physical clutter?
Yeah, and stuff in my bookshelves. It didn't matter. I mean, it now is time to clean things up because this clutter that we drag from our corporate. Well, how about the boxes downstairs that we got out of storage? All the plaques that I got over the years for recognition for, I don't know, whatever.
It's not clutter. That's
well, it's clutter because it's there in a box and I don't look at it and I don't really want it and I don't know what to do with it.
Right.
So it's clutter. I just haven't got to the step where it's garbage. But here's what happens. There's this clutter and physically it bothers me and mentally it bothers me. Trying to, and we're really good now in our living space. It's clean, except for your purse. It's clean. There is peace and clarity. You have candles that burn, that give a nice scent. You have those little scent machines, the oils. What is that? You walk into our house and it just smells really good. And it's simple. And there's not stuff everywhere.
right.
So I think
Well, I also think there's
minimalism.
There's clutter in your head, that
Yeah.
isn't actual physical clutter that you can leave behind now that you've left your workplace.
the
right?
grudges.
Yeah,
as an
that's a
example.
good example.
That's
a
mental
really good example.
clutter.
And there are situations, there are people, so there's clutter can come in a lot of different forms, but it is good to leave it behind.
It is. I mean, decluttering your mind will go so far to give you a happier, more fulfilling life because you're carrying around negative thoughts. And if you
Right.
wake up every day with negative thoughts, it's so hard to even get out of bed. I mean, if you're in the morning and first thing you do is look at your phone and look at all the news, look at all your emails, look at Facebook, look at Instagram before you get out of bed, you're not going to want to get out of bed. Do you agree?
I do.
Yeah, I think you got to get out of bed and you have to go exercise.
I do Wordle.
That clears your head. Well, you do Wordle, which is good. And you do it
I
with
do
a friend.
Wordle.
But that's the thing. That's not clutter.
No.
That's new stuff. That's refreshing. That's giving you some purpose. You can't wait in the morning to do Wordle.
See if I can get it before
You
Cindy.
get it before Cindy. And that's a little bit of a challenge.
Yeah.
And you're like, got it in 3, got
It
it in
is.
2. But I think that's minimalism because that's important, but everything else isn't. So that's really, really important.
Another
So,
thing to really let go of, and really the last thing I think we're going to talk about is
I'm thinking of something else. Hold on.
let go this reluctance to learn new things, right? So if you were in a job and, Mark was an insurance broker, I was in the insurance company side in the industry, while I learned new things during my career, I stayed in my lane pretty seriously, like in my lane. So I didn't really have the ability, the adaptability, the aptitude to really learn new things outside of my lane. And now I feel like I'm learning things outside of my lane.
So what are 3 things that you can think of right now that you've learned in the last year that are outside your lane?
Well, pickleball.
Okay.
Never had a desire to play a racket sport, tennis, racquetball, nothing. Picked up pickleball, learned it outside my lane.
Okay.
Golf, which we talked about because I was
Right.
never really a golfer. And this whole world of digital, marketing and YouTube TV and YouTube channels and all of that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a huge learning curve for us.
Yeah, it is. And
I mean, our 6 kids literally, they sit back and like die laughing sometimes. We're like, oh, we had to film, 6 videos today or we did this today. And they're just like, what?
And then
What
they
are
look
you
at
guys
our
doing?
channel and we tell them we have $25,000 subscribers.
Right.
Like, really, that's legit. So our kids are like, well, you guys are kind of legit. You're, what's the word they use? Oh, you're influencers. Well, we're not influencers.
No.
We're just here sharing with you stuff that we learned. But
this
learning new
reluctance
things,
to learn new things needs to be left behind.
yeah, it
I
has
guess
to
that's my
flip
point.
100%. You want to learn as many new things as you can
Right.
now. I mean, that you have the time. You
The
have
one
the
we
energy.
keep talking about is a new language, and
Yeah,
we dabble, and then we get out, and we dabble and get out.
Gosh,
we
I would love
both
to learn Spanish.
a new language, which we should do.
We should.
We should make that a New Year's resolution.
But it does, listen, this phase of life, if you can let go of these 20 things we just talked about and leave them behind, it really does open up the most amazing retirement ever. And I
Right.
think
I agree.
it's important to try to do that.
You know, some of these things that we talked about will automatically be left behind, you know, such as your identity. You really can't bring that with you. You know, you no longer have that title. But letting go of that identity can be difficult, but you can do it, and you can transition and move forward.
And you got to start off on the right foot. It's so critical to make this next phase of life successful. You've got to find a way to embrace the fact that these 20 things should not come forward with you anymore.
And you know, one way to tackle it would be to make a list of these 20 things and start thinking about how they apply to you and the steps you can take to implement any changes needed.
Now, we hope you liked this video. We really enjoyed doing it. But this next one, top tips to declutter your home. Retirement is a great time to start a purging and cleaning process. We talked about that a lot in this video. So this video is going to teach you ways to start the process and what the benefits are to decluttering your life.